everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be making a Crockpot chicken casserole with my own touch. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's cook. To begin, we're going to add our potatoes. I have these beautiful little baby Yukon potatoes. They are the best to use because they'll really absorb the flavors. And as you can see, I'm using a much larger crock pot today. Okay, so we've got those added. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to sprinkle some butter in here, about 2 tablespoons of butter, just to give it so it cooks in those wonderful seasonings. We are going to sprinkle some garlic salt on top of our potatoes, just lightly. I'm also going to just take about maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm going to sprinkle that over as well. Let all those flavors cook. Alrighty, let's move on to our next step, which will be adding our chicken. Now what we'll do is we're going to lay, I am just using 3 pieces of chicken breast. We're going to lay that on top. And I am again going to go ahead and season that with a little bit of garlic salt so our chicken tastes yummy. And I am also going to top the chicken with this Creole. I love this seasoning for chicken, just to give the chicken a little bit more flavor. This is gonna bake in and taste so delicious. Okay. Now what we'll do is we're gonna make our homemade gravy that we're gonna pour over this before we add the stuffing. All right, we're gonna start making our roux. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter in here. Let's get that melted. I prefer to make a homemade gravy because I have time to do it. And I think it's really, this gravy, I make this all the time for this dish, is absolutely delicious. So we want to melt our butter. Let's just get our butter melted here. Keep this turned down low. We don't want to burn our butter. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well. Let me know where you're watching me from as well. I love to read the comments. And I like to see how far my little recipes go. All right, we've got our butter melted. Now what I'm gonna add, I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of flour. This is just our roux. We make some yummy, yummy gravy to go over our chicken and our potatoes. So we'll make the roux up. We just wanna mix this all in. I'm gonna grab my whisk here. And you want to cook this for about a minute. And we want it to get rid of that floury taste. And this is really gonna add the thickness that we need for our gravy we're gonna add to our casserole. So you can see, just stir that up, let that cook till it looks like sand, the color of sand. Okay. That was fantastic. Okay, we are gonna add our next ingredient to this. This roux is looking beautiful. So let's go ahead and get our chicken broth ready to add. We're gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth. This is the chicken broth I'm using. So let's go ahead and stir this in here. And we're gonna stir in our roux into it and bring this to a boil. Just want to blend this in here. Make sure my heat's up. And then we're going to add our next ingredient, which is our whipping cream, which will make it lovely, lovely, creamy gravy. It's what we need for this casserole. Yeah, that's blending really nice. Okay, let's go ahead and add our whipping cream. Now we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. This is really gonna give it the creamy texture that we need. And let's go ahead and stir that in. Now we're also gonna add some additional flavoring. Oh, this is gonna be wonderful. We're gonna bring this up to a nice simmer. We're also gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Go ahead and sprinkle that in. Okay. And then we're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. That smells wonderful. Smells wonderful. We're also going to add some pepper. And we're just going to stir this up now and let this get nice and thick. We don't want it super thick. Okay, bring that up to a simmer. Let's let that get to a simmer. And then we'll go ahead and remove this and pour it over our chicken. I poured the gravy into a measuring cup. It looks really nice. It's got a nice consistency. You want it just to coat the spoon. So I'm gonna pour our sauce or our gravy. Just about a cup of it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's gonna, with all those seasonings in there and the chicken juice and all the other flavorings, this is gonna be absolutely delicious. One thing I'm gonna add too is I'm gonna add just a little bit of thyme. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that on there. A little bit too much there. Hey, things happen, right? Oh, thyme smells so good and it tastes really good on chicken. So I took a little bit of it off. All right, now what we'll do is, add the stuffing. This is my go-to when I do not feel like making homemade stuffing. Stovetop, love it. I've been eating it since I was a kid. So what we'll do is I'm gonna sprinkle this on top of our chicken and our potatoes, just like so. This is gonna be delicious. And then what we'll do is I wanna use the rest of my melted butter, which is, I melted like about 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to also put that in on top of the stuffing. And our last and final little addition, we're gonna take the rest of our gravy and we're gonna pour that on top of the stuffing and pour that on top of all of our chicken and everything and put that all on there so that's nice and covered. I do want to add some pepper on top and some salt. That looks, oh my gosh, guys, if you could just smell this, it smells wonderful. Now what you'll do is we're gonna cover this. We're gonna cook it on low for about 4 to 6 hours. So that gives you the whole day. You've got everything in here. It's a complete meal. And we'll be back in 4.5 to 6 hours to show you what it looks like once it's cooked. Alrighty, this has been cooking. Oh, it just, the house smells so delicious. It smells very good in here. Look at that. I'm gonna go in here now and just kind of separate the chicken just to mix this up a little bit more. Make it more of a casserole-like dish. Look at that with the gravy. Oh my goodness, guys. That looks absolutely delicious. The potatoes are nice and tender. I checked those. We've got chunks of chicken in here now. I'm going in, just separate them a little bit with a spoon. We've got everything mixed up in our crock pot. This smells absolutely delicious. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit more pepper on top before I start dishing this out to everybody. A little bit of salt. And voila, this is, it cooked about 4.5 to 5 hours. I ended up cooking it on low and it turned out beautiful. Please make it, let me know what you think. I hope you guys all try it out, and until next time.